also there was a wrong investment that almost made me went bankrupt. Thankfully, even with almost $0 in the bank, with 3 kids already back then.
You already had 3 kids?
I already had 3 kids at the age of 32. And I think that was a very needed season for me to recalibrate.
Welcome to this episode of the Clean Your Toilet podcast. My name is Barbara Latimer, your anchor host. I'm an MC, presenter, lover of all things in life, boxing coach, wife-to-be. Yeah, just a jack of all trades, maybe a master of none. But hey, let's find out as we dive deep into trailblazing, what it means, and is there more to it? So today we have with us Melvin. Melvin, lovely to have you.
Yeah, good to be here.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. So my name is Melvin Lim. I run a couple of businesses, largely in the real estate space in Singapore. So I've been in the real estate market for the last 18 years, from a solo realtor to a business owner now. Now I run a couple of businesses. I run a creative agency with 90 people. I run 2 real estate brokerages in Singapore. I also run a coaching program called Mastery Collective for business owners. I have a small hot pot store as well. So
I'm hungry now.
So real estate has been my passion all along, and this 18 years journey has been very fruitful, wonderful, leading all the way from a salesperson to now a business owner, running multiple businesses, and of course leadership role as the founder, co-founder. And I think that the interesting part is, of course, like the journey to start off like businesses as a business owner mindset, leadership, systems, scaling part, plus leading people. So it has been quite a journey so far. Until now, I'm still enjoying it. I have 4 kids. We homeschool our kids till 12.
So many questions.
My wife is stay at home for my youngest now. My first 3 are not young anymore. My eldest is in the army. So now I'm in a journey, of course, like also mentoring people. Love working with people. And yes, good to be here.
Wow. Okay. Right. Where do I even start? So right before we pressed the record button, I heard this thing about prison.
Yes.
Were you in prison?
Yes, I was in prison for 3 years as a prison officer. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so that was my first job.
That's not a very common job for people to choose.
Yeah.
What spurred that one?
Yeah, great question, Barbara. So that was the season that I was actually still like figuring out my life, and I didn't really know like what I should do. I was in the midst of my private uni program. Halfway through, I didn't have the funds to complete the final year, which is the 3rd year. Yeah, and then one of my cousins says that she's working full-time with Ministry of Home Affairs. Maybe I should give it a shot. It's quite fun and challenging. So I thought, okay, let me just sign on for 3 years as a prison officer with a bond, then complete my studies, figure out my life. And during that 3 years, I think there was a few milestones. I got married, got my first property, got my degree completed, and then after 3 years, I decided to come out to go into the real estate space. Yeah.
Was it getting your first property that kind of spurred that interest into real estate?
I wouldn't say so. I think getting that first public housing in Singapore back then was really like just for me to anchor and build my family as a young couple. I've always wanted to be independent at a very young age, and I just wanted to like get our own home, start my family, have our first kid. And it was like a really figuring out process. I was in my early 20s. It was when I met a friend who was doing real estate, because I really got accepted into a bank as a relationship manager after I completed my banking degree, that I was thinking, should I go for the banking route or the real estate route? Then I decided to chance upon that route because I really love to do sales. Yeah, so that was how it happened. It was really figuring out as a very young person, as a young adult.
And based on my notes about you that I was given, so Property Lim Brothers, this is something that was kind of you almost pioneered the digital content storytelling age before. I mean, now it's extremely commonplace, right? That's the whole avenue that real estate has kind of gone into.
Yes.
What inspired that, as you know?
Yeah. So I started from being in the industry as a space that people call realtors being in a very cowboy so-called season, right? So that was in the year 2007. It was really like in the olden days that everything was on paper, traditional flyers, was using name cards. Everybody wear coats, right? We were so well dressed. Now everybody is like more lifestyle and casual. So back then, it was really a cowboy industry without regulation. So I came into the industry as a young realtor. In fact, I picked up a lot of wrong practices when I was very young as a young realtor. And for example, how do you think about your business? Like, how do you think very short term? So last time I was a very short term mindset. Just want to close one deal and move on. Not really thinking about building the client relationship for life. Just want to earn a quick buck, close that deal.
Get money in the account.
Yes, and it was like the season of just really wanting to prove myself between the age that I was 26 to 32. And back then, I think there wasn't much training in the market. There wasn't much, there wasn't a lot of like mentors who teach you about the business in the correct manner. Yeah, so it was really like, let me just close this deal and move on, close that deal and move on, get a commission and all that. So I tend to look at human beings as commission in the past. Yeah, so the first 6 years was this season of trying to prove myself.
Yeah.
And then after the age of 32, there was a couple of milestones that happened that really transformed my mindset. And I think it was that 4 years of drought season that I really recalibrated my internal values, thinking about this as a human business, looking at humans, as families, right, that trusted me with the money to invest in property. So I should place myself, my lens in the eyes of the home buyer or the home seller. So that was a season that I started a personal project to read 100 business books, ranging from media, creative marketing, positioning the business, sales, a wide array of business models. And I started consuming a lot of content, especially American content in the US. And I was just thinking like, why is it that in Singapore we are marketing properties in a very traditional fashion? Because real estate is physical and immobile. But how do we digitize them in the social media space through content and video? And that would then free them up from the physical boundaries to be able to populate themselves into people's mobile phones, right? That you can watch videos where you want to go. So it wasn't a truly new concept. It's just that Singapore has not accepted that concept yet. So I started the first video home tour with a presenter format, storytelling, like what you do as a host. And then we picked up from there.
Wow. You mentioned a drought season. Can you tell me about that?
Right. Drought season. I'm not sure. Have you had any drought season before in your career?
Like completely dry?
Yeah, it's like you feel like you're going nowhere in your career, and then you're just figuring out what's next, what to do.
I don't know. I think I've brought this up a couple of times on other episodes where moving to Australia in my 30s was tricky. Because I've spent the last, 15 years establishing my career here. All my clients are here.
Right.
But I'm now moving for love, which zero regrets, like best decision of my life. My dad always says, he's like, I knew you were not going to stay here forever. I knew Singapore was not going to be for you and you were going to move away one day. But the media space there is extremely different. And I think what I do has also come hand in hand with the content creation and the influencing space. And I potentially had a little bit of burnout from that, just not wanting to do that and valuing my privacy a little bit more. Because at the end of the day, I was never selling a product. I was always selling myself and my brand and having to put myself out there.
Right.
So did I really want to do all of that again from scratch in a new market? So I think that the first few years of being in Australia, it was a bit like, so what do I do?
Right.
I ended up working in a restaurant and bar. My partner taught me all about the hospitality space. And I absolutely loved it. It gave me the social interaction that I craved, aside from just hanging out with his friends. It allowed me to build my own community. And it also helped me realize that I have transferable skills. So even though I have not been accepted into a single job application that I've applied for over there for a full-time job, part of me is like, I know that the moment I step in for an interview, they will be able to see what I can bring to the table. I don't think, and honestly, this is on me, like I haven't been committed enough to make that happen. And I think that's definitely held me back because I'm not willing to let go of the work that I can come back home and do and that kind of freedom that I have with visiting my family. But there was definitely a time where I was like, what am I doing?
Right.
But I wouldn't say that it was like a dry season.
I see. It was like a figuring out season.
Yeah.
How many years has it been?
It's been 4 years come next March.
Right. Interestingly, you mentioned about the part that you don't want to go and restart on a journey that you had to invade your privacy by putting yourself out there in a new market. Is like the influencer space. Are you referring to that?
Yeah.
All right. Do you do that in Singapore?
Not anymore.
Okay.
I actually got rejected for a job recently because they wanted an MC and I quoted them. But they did say they ended up wanting someone with more followers and who is more active on social media in posting content and the stuff that they do.
On their personal basis, personal brand. Right.
Yeah. Because
see.
MCing is a personal brand, right? I do work with different clients on stuff, but you know, they want that following.
I see.
And when I heard that, 4 years ago, if I heard that, I would have been very angry because it's almost like, just because I don't have as many followers, you're making it sound like I can't do a good job. Whereas now, when they told me that, I was like, yeah, actually, that's okay. I don't mind. I am very content with not revealing all about my life for the world to see. I am at a stage in my life where we're settling down, we're going to get married, we're going to have kids. Do I want all of that out there for the world to see? And I have become very happy and peaceful inside.
That you don't have to do that.
That I don't have to do that.
Right. And you can choose, right? Like which clients you want to work with. Right. That's awesome.
So your dry spell, how?
My dry spell. My dry spell was really I think an accumulation of like wrong mindset and values over the years is like the stage that when I started in the real estate industry because the money is there, right?
The money is there.
Yeah, like if you close a deal, it's like easily 4 digits, 5 digits per deal.
Am I in the wrong industry?
But behind the scenes, there's a lot of sacrifice and hard work. In my journey, I realized that realtors are an extremely anxious bunch of professionals because their schedules are flipped upside down for their entire life. Weekends are gone, nights are gone. They made a lot of sacrifice from their families. So basically my first 6 years was really, I think, a lot about greed. Yeah, so I was very greedy to extremely ambitious, just wanting to prove myself. And then I realized at the age of 32, I was actually just trying to prove to my dad that I can make it. Yeah, so it is this thing that I learned from a program. It's called inner vow. It's like I'm just trying to prove to my dad that, hey, I can make it. I can prove it to you that I'm somebody, you know, that I can earn more than you. So it was like...
Was he someone who always put pressure on you?
No, he doesn't.
Sense?
I think my parents are great. It's just that the love language was very different.
Yeah.
They grew up in a very anxious era. There was lack in the family. We are from a very down-to-earth family. But I think in terms of language, sometimes they will put down the kids, right? Like, example, they say, you can't study. Don't waste money studying and all this kind of stuff.
Well, it was a very different generation.
Yes.
And I think with all the learning and materials that are out there now, we can realize a lot of things about why our parents might say the things that they would say. It was because of the parenting they received as well.
Yes.
You know, and they would have tried their best to not do what their parents did. but also
Out of stress.
Yeah,
Sometimes words come out.
Words come out in a certain way, and the world has changed in a very fast pace for our parents here in Singapore.
Yeah, that's
It's gone
right.
from third world to first world.
Yeah.
And almost like they haven't had time to catch up.
Yeah. And I think there was also like a lack of parenting skills, education in the past for my parents themselves, because they were really like hustling just to bring out the 3 kids. So I think it's also like after I become a dad that I started to realize that it's not easy to be a parent. And that was like we reconcile. And also there was a wrong investment that almost made me went bankrupt. So thankfully, even with almost $0 in the bank, with 3 kids already back then.
You already had 3 kids.
I already had 3 kids at the age of 32. And I think that was a very needed season for me to recalibrate as a human being, because my motivations and values were all wrong. I was just chasing after money. And everything was just so short term, right? So I think the wake up point was really like one day, one of my kids like asked me, "Daddy, are you happy and proud of your job?" Yeah, then I was thinking like, am I proud to even tell them that, you know, I'm just chasing after money, right? And
the kids, man, they throw those hard-hitting questions at you.
Yeah, that's right. And so that was like a reset for me, 32. 4 years of drought season, very good season. I feel more at peace, like restart, relearn, just calibrating the right mindset and right values. And I think that was a needed journey before I started PLB at the age of 36. Yeah. So I consider myself like a late boomer. So at age 36, it's like, I feel that my courage has increased so much that I don't really have to care about opinions. And I went ahead to start a media production house called PLB Media with 2 video creatives. And that has led to 90 teammates today. But we have rebranded the company to call it Media X as a creative agency. Yeah. So that's been that season of drought. Yeah. How about yourself? Like how has there been any inner vows with your parents, like
I think
in any season of your life?
Well, it's interesting that you mentioned the coaching company that you have as well.
Yes.
Because my dad's an MCC.
MCC.
Master Certified Coach.
Wow, okay.
So we grew up around coaching. He was a salesman to begin with. I was born in the UK. He was an IT guy.
Wow.
Software, IT. And we moved to Singapore when I was about 8. So mum's Chinese Singaporean. And migrating to this education system was a challenge. The UK education system it's very chill, it's very relaxed. Integrating as a foreigner essentially into a very academic focused, now there's a little bit more exposure, we got art school and all this kind of stuff and creative opportunities. In the early 2000s, that wasn't there, right?
You can sometimes feel like it's a clockwork machine.
It was stressful.
It was a rat race within the education system itself.
Yeah, and I mean, I have zero complaints about mom and dad. They did the best that they possibly could to provide the best childhood for us, and I know. From a very young age, I knew that they moved us here because the opportunities would be much more present compared to the tiny little town that we lived in the UK. It's not like we were living in London where, you've got those opportunities there.
Right.
I think when you live in a small town, village type place, it's much harder to grapple. If we had stayed in the UK, I would have ended up becoming a school teacher, most likely. I would not have had the opportunity to realize that, this is what I can do. I can present, I can be on telly, I can facilitate crowds. And the one of the best things that mom and dad could have done for us is they coached us through school.
Wow.
So we never realized it at the time, but dad was using his coaching skills to help us navigate this entirely new school system. I mean, I used to have nightmares in Chinese. Learning Chinese at 8, 9 years old is so hard. I used to have dreams about giant Chinese characters chasing me and all this kind of stuff.
So Chinese was your second language?
Had to be. If we were, they said the condition for us being able to enter a local school is that we're not allowed to be exempt. Cannot choose Malay. It had to be Chinese because mom is Chinese. Whereas now I think with a lot of Eurasians and Halfies, they are a little bit more flexible. They can be exempt, or there's B syllabus Chinese, or you can take Malay if you want. That was not an option at the time. And the first primary school that I went to was Fengshan Primary. So a very Chinese-oriented school. I had a very thick English accent, and I was doing well in Chinese. It's not like it was terrible. It got worse as I got older. Just like my brain just couldn't catch it. So I had the same tuition teacher for like from primary 2 all the way until sec 4.
Right.
But in primary 2, my Chinese teacher wanted me to go up on stage and recite a poem because they were like, her Chinese pronunciation and all the work that she does is so much better than some of our local students. I went home in tears. I was like, Ma, I don't want to do this. Like, how am I going to recite a Chinese story on stage in front of the whole school? And Mum spent a lot of time with me just to build up my confidence to that point. And the one thing that I do remember is that when I went on stage, and I recited it perfectly.
Wow.
Right? All the nerves and all that were for nothing, but all the hard work was done beforehand. And I think that was the first time that I realized that I am actually comfortable on stage. And looking back, having this conversation, everything that Mum and Dad has done over the years has enabled us to find our niche, find out what we're good at. Not once did they push us and be like, I think you should do this more. Right. I tried ballet when I was a kid. After half a class, I didn't like it. Dad had just signed me up for the full term. He's like, you know what? If you really don't want to do it, that's fine. That money was burnt. I don't know if I'd do the same for my kids. I'd be like, I've just paid for a whole semester. Maybe you should go do. We were doing karate. Me, my dad, and my sister, we used to do karate together in the UK. Realized it wasn't my thing. I ended up specializing in boxing in my 20s, and I became a coach. So I was like, oh, actually, I really do like martial arts. I do like punching things. But yeah, it's interesting, and I did want to touch on the homeschooling aspect as well, that you guys do with your kids, because it's not very common in Singapore.
Yeah, it is not common in Singapore. It's a very, very small community.
How did you guys manage to... I mean, how did you even come to that decision? I'm assuming both you and your wife have gone through the full education system here, right?
Yeah. So I think like really when we are talking about education, I think it also resonates also like with the journey on and the season that the parents are in. And just now, as you were sharing about your journey for your childhood, I was like thinking, wow, it's like, your parents is like, because your dad came from an IT to sales to be a coach, right? And that's something that I think now at where we are as a family, we do that for our kids as well. Because mine was quite reverse. It's like I don't get it in my childhood. Now I want to provide. Yeah. I do think that during my journey, there was this interlocking period that it was similar to the age that I was 32 to 36. That was the period that we started homeschooling, where I also as a person and a human being started to shift my mindset, right? To really like wanting to do good work, wanting to like add more value. And I was just looking at my kids. Back then, my kids were already, my eldest was in primary 4.
Okay.
The second one was in P2. Youngest was still in kindergarten.
So they kind of already experienced the local school system. And how was it for them? Did they enjoy school? Like,
we value a lot of family time. Partly also because I was out like on weekends and nighttime and stuff like that. So we're just looking at them, looking at us, looking at where does this family want to go. And I believe in the theory that as the head of the house, I need to lead the family. So back then we're just thinking like, hey, this seems a bit like a rat race within the education system. And the childhood is so precious. By the time they head off to a teenager age, starting from 13 years old, we're not going to be able to buy back the time that they are so innocent and they're so cheerful and like they enjoy time with the siblings. They enjoy running around at home or asking us funny questions and all that kind of stuff. They're going to be hitting puberty very soon.
Yeah.
So
and you're not cool enough to hang out with them at that age.
Yeah, true enough, they don't want us to fetch them to school anymore. So it's like, then I chance upon this concept that in the Western world is so common, right? Like homeschool and all that. Then we're just thinking like, okay, we planned for about a year. We applied to MOE. It was not an easy process. You need to go through interviews. They need to do visitation at the house. They interview the parents. They interview your kids. They look at your environment. They want you to build a curriculum before they approve the homeschooling. So we got approved. We did that for all our 3 kids. Now we had a 4th one. My 4th one is 6 years old now. So he is our last customer for homeschooling. Yeah. But we told ourselves we want to be very clear. It's like, we don't want them to avoid the education system because I think it's good. I just want them to have more childhood at home. So technically, they play a lot. Yeah. My wife bring them to Science Centre and Botanic Garden. We travel. We love Melbourne. We go to Apollo Bay.
Next time you're in town, let me know.
We do a lot of road trips, non-holiday season. So I think it was a wonderful journey. And we told them that, hey guys, you will go back to secondary school, mainstream, once you complete your PSLE. That is when we want them to go back and rough it up. Yeah, so they do half homeschooling.
Okay.
Yeah, and that has been our model. And now when we review with them, because my eldest is already in the army, we ask them, hey guys, what do you think of your journey in the past, homeschooling? They said it was wonderful because now they become best friends with each other. They share a lot of things. I told them, I said that your best friend should be your sibling, right? You should treat your family better than your friends outside. Yeah, and of course, people worry all the time. Like my parents, my in-laws, my friends, they'll say that, hey, will they be socially awkward once they go back to school? And I told them, I said, I think they have been deprived of social network. Why? Because the moment they hit secondary 1 and 2, my home became so crowded. Sometimes I come home, there are tons of strangers at my home because they bring their friends back all the time and sleep over and stuff. So
and that's what you want, right?
Yeah, that's
you
what
would
I
rather
want.
All these friends be at your place than they're off.
Yeah.
God knows where.
Yeah, so it has worked out for us, and I'm thankful for that opportunity to be able to do it because I know not all families, it doesn't work for all families in Singapore. Yeah, because I get to bring home the keep. My wife can stay at home. It's a setup that allows us this privilege.
Does your wife have an education background?
She closed her clinic to do homeschooling. Yeah, so she was in the medical field. She was an occupational therapist treating breast cancer patients. She runs her own private clinic. Yeah, so she did a huge sacrifice to really be at home with the kids. And she wants to do it. She enjoys it. Yeah.
So, okay, because I look at, my partner and I have definitely explored wanting to homeschool. I think one of the biggest things was, for me, I did not like primary school and secondary school here. I loved poly because I was doing things that I love. But when I was Sec 4, and I was a year older because I was pushed back a year when we first moved here because of Mandarin. Right. The year of my O-levels, I was in and out of hospital for the first 3 months.
What happened?
For consistent chest pains.
Okay.
So it just felt like there was always a sharp pain. I had muscle relaxants, I had painkillers, I'd done the CT scans, the MRIs, the whole shebang. They could not tell me what was wrong. So Dad being in the industry he was like, hey, I know someone, you know what, let's give this a try. So I actually went for hypnotherapy. And I don't know, sometimes I doubt myself because I'm like, did I just sleep through these sessions? Like, was I really hypnotized? I only did 3 sessions because after that, my chest pain was gone. And it didn't come back for at least 10 years.
Wow.
So I was like, well, something worked right. And sometimes I remember parts of these sessions. I remember crying a lot. But one of the things that stuck out the most was, okay, she asked me to describe what I was feeling. Like, what does this pain feel like? I described it to her. It's like your metal scourer that you use to clean the dishes. It feels like that, or like knitting yarn that's just gotten like all messed up, and it's just this black little ball of mess. And it feels like there's the filter in my throat that makes it hard to breathe. And she'd done something along the lines of asking me to recite a number off the top of my head. And I think I said 12. And 12 was the year of finishing PSLE and starting secondary school. And that was when my anxiety had actually kicked in. It was anxiety that I was feeling. I just didn't know it. And I think it almost kind of solidified my decision that I don't want my kids to go through what I went through. And just feeling like I don't know how else I would navigate their childhood. I have all these fond memories of my childhood in the UK. And, school was so fun. Like, English class was writing about our favorite Disney character. And then at the end of the school term, we all got to dress up and do a fancy dress parade, dressed up as our favorite character. And my mom hand sewed this beautiful Princess Jasmine outfit for me.
Right.
And these are core memories, right? But then coming into the education system here, it was such a stark difference in the way that the education was approached with, that it just felt like more stress and trauma than there were good memories of being in school. I had some teachers that I really liked, but it was few and far between. The experience just wasn't enjoyable until I hit poly. So I'm like, I don't really want to put my kids through that. And then on the other spectrum, my partner from the age of 10 grew up in boarding school. So he's got a level of independence and exposure to life and sports and pottery and all sorts of things that is a completely different way. And then he's got friends who homeschool their kids. So we're like, okay, so homeschool's an option. But then I look at the curriculum that my niece goes through and I'm like, I don't know if I'd be able to homeschool my kids. Right. So how would parents like navigate being, yes, I want to homeschool. Are there curriculums available that they can now adopt? I mean, I like the idea that you decided, okay, primary school is the homeschooling time. And then after that, you guys have to rough it out in the system.
In Singapore, when we look at the homeschooling community, I think they do a hybrid version. That means they still follow the MOE curriculum. That means because PSL is a compulsory exam in Singapore, then they still want their children to go through like O levels as a private candidate, PSL as a private candidate, poly or A levels as a private candidate. Most people homeschool all the way until poly in Singapore. But I think a lot of parents, they weave in like the US syllabus. They weave in certain curriculum from overseas just to broaden general knowledge. We do that as well. There's a community that we go to on a weekly basis. They do like US syllabus, learn about different stuff, and really make it like sort of like a non-deadline approach, right, to what Singapore have. So I think it's really like encouraging them to learn about the world and not just to aim for the next exam after exam. So I think we also adopt our own version of a hybrid version. Our mindset is that there will be a time once they are in their teenage year that we want them to like learn how to, because we intend to stay in Singapore, right?
Yeah.
So we want them to learn like during your age of 13 to 16, how is it like to be and survive in a secondary school kind of style, right? So that was our decision. We didn't want to homeschool all the way. We want to do a hybrid version.
How did the kids find it? I mean, I think especially the two that you have in the middle, because they would have done most homeschooling in primary school and then done the switch to secondary school. I mean, other than the fact that it's great that they've got all these friends who are coming over and stuff like that, but they essentially went from learning at their own pace. They could be studying primary 4 maths at primary 3. Or maybe their English was struggling a little bit. They are primary 5 in English, or supposed to be primary 5, but where they're at the moment is still like primary 4, primary 3 stuff.
Yeah.
So going from having that flexibility to being able to learn at their own pace, which I think is a beautiful thing,
Yeah.
to then the intensity of, secondary school, if you don't get it, you're cut. You're dropping from, especially from Sec 2 to Sec 3.
The streaming process.
When you take in all these subjects. I mean, I dropped A Math after Sec 3. I dropped from pure science to combined science.
Yeah.
How was it for them to navigate, and also as a parent to see them go through that? Did they struggle? Was it easier for them because of the more worldly exposure that they've had?
I think that we had like a few pillars at home that we always inculcate into them. That was also through my journey of like reading like about parenting and all that. So once me and my wife were aligned, I think that the first thing is that we always share with them that it is fantastic to fail early. So we told them at the age of primary school, especially when they're approaching PSLE. In fact, all of them only studied 1 year before PSLE, because before that, during the homeschooling years, it was largely experiential learning. It was a lot of play. So we told them the first thing is that if you fail, we will be happy for you, because you get to fail early rather than you fail later on in life. And sometimes we need to fail our way to success as well. Number 2 is that for me, I have not signed or seen my kids' report book, even in their secondary school days, for like years. It's like I said that we will not gauge our love for you based on your grades. Yeah. So that was the second thing. So I think that sort of anchored their trust for us. Then number 3 is basically like we share that, okay, anytime you need help, you have to sign up. If you need coaching from a tutor, 1-to-1 over Zoom or whatever, or class format, just let us know. We'll supplement that for you for the subjects that you need help. So we teach them how to sound out at a very early age. So like even till now, one of my kids is in A-levels, so she will say that, oh, Dad, I need a chemistry teacher. I say, okay, I'll make it happen for you. So they know how to be independent based on that approach. So I think it's with these 3 things that they have become very, very independent, and they have done relatively well. But sometimes they will tell me, like my elder say, hey, Dad, I managed to get into SMU, right? Then I'll say, wow, good job. But I didn't even know his grades. It's like, and we just want them to be very independent young adults, that they can chart their future in a very safe environment at home.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah,
hats off to you and your wife. I think especially in Singapore, where it's not common by any means, taking that risk almost into doing something different. Did you face any pushback from like family or friends?
No, definitely. Like my parents, my in-laws, they were like, are you sure you guys want to do this? We have never seen anybody being pulled out of a primary school, and like there's no school, right? Like where is your school? Like, are you guys qualified to teach them? It's like, so there's so many different kind of stuff. But we have friends that were very amazed and intrigued by this approach. And I think looking back, there's no regret. In fact, we are really like happy for them that they get this journey in the family. And it gives us a lot of time to like teach them stuff, read to them, coach them, and really like being friends with them at this stage. So now all my teens are like, we're like friends. They tell us everything. Even though, for example, I told them that, okay, I have a insane rule at home as a dad, is that you can only start dating in university, right? Please don't date before that. But one day, one of them came back and said, Dad, till he was in JC, he's like, Dad, I have a girlfriend. I need to confess to you. It's like, okay, I hear that. Then I'm thankful you tell me. Okay, as long as it doesn't affect your studies then and your life, then by all means. In fact, we even discussed like when he wants to break up because of a toxic relationship, he will ask me to coach him, like how does he approach it?
How should I break up?
Yeah, it's like then we discuss as a family. So I'm thankful that now we really speak like friends, and I'm more of his like mentor rather than like a person speaking down on him all the time.
And I guess that's all you want, right?
Yeah.
You know, your kids, they're going to go out to the world. They're children of the universe. You're just doing your best to equip them with the skills to survive, knowing that at any point in time, they can come back to you, bare their soul, and you will always be honest with them. You will always be open with them and have their best interests at heart and have have their back.
Yeah, just like what you shared, like, you get coached by your parents, which I think is wonderful because through that you build a trust with them over the years of your childhood.
Absolutely. And our family chat is called The Nest. Yeah. So we have our family chat, The Nest, and it doesn't matter what happens, we will always show up for each other.
Wow.
It's one of the most beautiful values that a family can hold, is that no matter what, it doesn't matter what has happened, we will be there. Hands down, we will make it work. If someone's not free, someone else will be there. And knowing that you've got that support system, and knowing that I am going into a marriage where my other half also strongly believes in that as well, is a very secure and nice. It's like a nice, fuzzy, warm feeling.
Yeah, that's amazing.
But I mean, you guys have taken a lot of risks, and we mentioned that, obviously there might have been pushback from friends and family and stuff like that. Were there any points where you guys doubted yourselves and the decisions that you've made?
I think definitely there will be times that we're thinking like, okay, has this been the right decision? There are times like this, I think perhaps at the start. Yeah, but as we start to do it into the second and the third year, I think we will more reaffirm after we see like, the kids are happy.
The training wheels came off.
Yes, and then like, they really enjoy their childhood. That's what we want. The final thing is we really want them to enjoy their childhood.
That's beautiful. Yeah. And if we go over to like the business side of things, right? You've gone from prison, working in prison, to real estate, and then you've got the coaching and the leadership side of things, and then you've got the hospitality side of things. What's it been like navigating completely different industries?
Yeah, I think my core focus is definitely still in the real estate market. The F&B we got is just a side gig that we just wanted to. Yeah, it's just for fun.
What's the name of this hot pot place?
It's called Baby Hot Pot. It's me with one of my business partners. So, we just have that space to host people, host events, host our teammates. It's just really like for hosting, because F&B is tough to make money in Singapore.
Yeah, I was gonna say
it's extremely tough. As long as they break even, we're fine. I think definitely 99% of my focus is in people in real estate business, and I think we're in a season now that I have, of course, like a responsibility to lead and mentor people. The space has moved really from a salesperson to building a business, making the business work. But I realized that through that journey, it has allowed me, I would say, a very healthy pressure to grow. Yeah, because I realized at different stage, I discover that I need to upskill myself so many times, right?
Yeah.
From a singular self-employed to having a team, and then realizing that, building a business it can be messy at the start, right? Especially as a startup. There's so many things to look after. In fact, a business has like 7-8 different pillars, right? From finance to HR to marketing to media, to your PR, to your operations, to your sales, to your business development, branding. Yeah. There's so many pillars, and we need to bring in different talents at different point in time. And how do we navigate the timing as well, in terms of revenue, expense, and profit, making sure that it is healthy, we can take care of our employees, we can also continue to build more value for consumers, and solve problems consistently for our customers. And I think it's like this journey of like building towards a business owner has been the greatest phase of my life, because I realized that I need to improve myself so much, especially over the last 6-7 years. And that has brought me a lot of maturity as a human being. So it was through that journey that I realized that I'm very thankful I got a chance to own businesses. Yeah, and yeah, I enjoy what we're doing now.
Have you ever been torn between working in the business versus working on the business?
Wow, you read the book E-Myth.
I haven't actually,
okay.
But this is something that with our business in Australia that we're really trying to flip.
Yeah.
Because it's 90% my partner.
Yes.
Right, he's the the bread and butter of this business.
Yeah.
And it's about making sure that, like, how do we go from working on the business instead of him doing the day-to-day and the grind?
Yes, that's I would say is part of the awkward teenager phase of a business, because a business will usually start with the solo founder first, or a business partnership. And once they start to build momentum, they start to scale a little bit, having a few employees, then they will shift to the next stage, and we call it the awkward teenager phase. That most of the decision and the phase of the business is still very important. And usually the founder is the practitioner as well.
Yeah.
He's the engineer of the business, and he or she needs to be in the business to make it work on a day-to-day basis. I would say after this phase, if the business owner managed to break through this part through scaling up using systems, SOP, hiring the right talents, retention, and upskilling different product revenue lines, then there will be a chance for the business owner to really come out of the business, not totally, but more on a strategy approach.
Yes.
Yeah. But there will be a painful phase of being in the business, which I think is needed. It's just that when will the business owner be sometimes able to let go, sometimes allowing their team to make mistakes, and sometimes also like hiring the right talent to groom the leadership so that the business owner can focus to build the system, the SOP and all that. Yeah. And I think it's a phase that is between the awkward teenager phase to really becoming a full-blown business owner. So that is a phase that a lot of people have to go through. Yeah.
My next question.
Yeah.
I have all these questions for you, none of which were like written down here, but I think what I'd love to pick your brain about is also like the wife side of things, right? She's obviously been a big pillar of support for you. And you mentioned that period of self-discovery from 32 to 36, where obviously there was a big loss that you incurred, which resulted in this drought period. How did she support you? What did you need from a partner? Did she give you what you needed? Did she give you what you wanted?
Yeah, she was amazing. She's still amazing now.
I have no doubt, man.
Yeah, so I think that 4 years, it was like she just basically chose to trust the process, and then she will say that it's okay, we can rebuild, we can restart. Yeah.
Was there any backlash when that big loss initially happened?
No, I would say no. Then it's like she's
like this.
Yeah, she would just say that it's okay. We'll just take your time to rebuild, and then she will focus on the kids, the family. In fact, most of the time I was at home during that 4 years. I was like reading and like consuming content, going for courses and all that. I mean, like funny seasons, she would sometimes say like, "Oh, darling, you are very free now." It's like, then
gotta get a little jab in there.
Yeah,
like, you're free now.
But she didn't give me any stress financially. Yeah, she just says that it's okay. We just live a simpler life. Yeah, we cut down certain expenses and we just eat out less and all that kind of stuff. So I think it was really like you mentioned, the partner has to be a key support pillar. And she gave me the time to rebuild.
The peace.
And, yes, and she just chose to trust that, okay, my husband just needs time to rebuild himself. Because we know each other from very young. She knows I am a super ambitious person. She knows that I love to do things quickly. I can be impatient at times. But she knows that I love to build stuff. Yeah, so she just gave me the time that is needed. Yeah, and she told me that worst case, just get a job, right? It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was all I needed.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's nice to hear that, because one of the things that my partner always says is, I love you so much. You give me so much peace. Peace and love is like the foundation of our relationship. And he's like, if he comes home 3 hours later than he told me he was going to be home and dinner's ready, he's like, why aren't you angry? Why aren't you angry that I'm home so late? I was like, well, what's that going to achieve? Right? I'm going to try and make you feel guilty for being home late. The food can be heated up. And it's not like you're out, fandangling with your buddies or whatever. you're literally working to provide for our future. Why should I give you more grief just because my ego is hurt? It doesn't matter. A little bit of grace goes a long way.
Wow.
And wouldn't it be much easier if I supported you and you come home to a place where you feel peace, not extra stress. Home should be the peaceful place.
Wow, that's so powerful. That's so good to hear. You cook?
It's 50-50.
Okay.
He's a very good cook.
Okay.
After when I first moved, and he makes beautiful meals. He's Kenyan. So the stews and the curries and the barbecue is on point.
Right.
And we went through my first winter and he made goat curry for me for the first time.
Wow.
I was like, how is it I've lived here for 6 months and this is the first time you're cooking this? It is now my favorite dish.
Wow.
Absolute favorite. This man is a genius. When you come to Melbourne, you'll meet him.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, no, this has been really great. I think the only other thing maybe I wanted to touch on is, obviously it's the PLB. What's it like working with family?
No, it's not a family business.
Oh, it's not a family business. It's just you.
Yeah, so
okay,
it
so
is.
This goes to show how I don't know my guests before we start this.
Okay, so that's interesting. So it is with my business partner who bears the same surname. That's why there's Property Lim Brothers, but we're not real brothers. It's,
like brother from another mother.
Yes, it's really for the sake of a name that is more intriguing and it's for branding. It has worked out for us. So we have been business partner for many years, and it is a wonderful journey. Of course, both of us were like salespeople from two-man show all the way to business owners now. So I would say now we're at a phase that really, because we have two companies, which is the realty business plus this other business. So two of us are co-founders in these two business.
Was that the leadership and coaching?
No, that is with another founder. Yeah. So so certain businesses are with other people.
Yeah, for sure.
So Media X as well as PLB Realty, we're still running the show. And I think we are in a space that now we're exploring a lot into AI prop tech. At the start of this year, I told the team that, hey, we have done home tours for many years, right? We have built multiple YouTube channels. We have podcasts. We have Chinese YouTube channels. We have short form content, long form content over webinars and all that kind of stuff. And we run events as well for the local Singapore real estate community. So now I think PLB is at a stage that we have to adopt the next innovation. Of course, AI for productivity, but we have to see how can we self-disrupt ourselves further, using more AI for media creation, innovation, and also in the tech space, more on the property tech space. So I think now is a very exciting season for the team because at the start of this year, we challenged them to adopt media production at a very fast pace using a lot of different AI tools. For the tech team, we challenged them to learn vibe coding so that they can vibe code themselves. We can create our own apps, our own tech, without relying on vendors. So, and we have predominantly very young people here. They are 70% below 30 years old. So I think it's a very fun community to work with because I'm in my 40s, but I always challenge myself, how do I work with young people? And how do we continue to recruit young talents for their energy, for the vibe, for the gusto, and of course the seniors here get to work with the young people as well. So it's we want to create a ecosystem that we are constantly innovating.
Before we dive back in, a quick rinse from our sponsors.
So Ping, who do you have for us?
Today, who I have is actually one of my favorite, donuts.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
So in the past, when we had donuts, it's always the circle, sugar,
Yes, the
and
whole,
one.
yes, correct.
Right, but these days, what's popular is the one that have a filling in it.
Yes,
it
that's
could
right.
be a vanilla, it could be chocolate, matcha,
Yes.
etc. So that has
That's
been
right.
really popular. And I would say that I got to know this brand at the beginning of COVID when they first started.
Oh.
So back then, it was really difficult to get their bakes because it was a mother and daughter duo.
Yeah.
And the moment they launch, right, very quickly they get snapped up because there's only that many donuts they can make.
Oh, okay.
Right, and then subsequently, like a year or two later, they started their own shop in Tampines, right? And I recently learned that, just 6 months back, they started their own cafe also in Tampines.
Amazing.
Right? So I'm like, wow, exciting.
Yeah,
Like, look
things
at
are
how
going well for them.
Yeah, look at how much they've grown. And if you look at the founder herself, right, she was studying in Australia and she actually went to apprentice in some of the bakeries in order to bring us what we are having today.
I see.
Right? So it's very interesting. I'm excited for how they've ventured into their own cafe.
Yeah.
And there's still a lot of passion, there's still a lot of experimentation of different bakes until their clients tell them, can you just have a consistent menu that we can use as a base, right?
Correct. Okay.
Especially for
I get
people
that.
who have a very fixed palate, they don't like to keep changing.
That's right. So she has to find that balance, I
Yes,
assume, with
yes.
experimentation, but also maintaining like crowd favorites.
Yes, correct.
I
correct.
see.
So what's the promo that they have today?
Yeah, what are they offering?
So for them, they are your friendly neighborhood bakery,
Okay.
serving fresh handmade bakes. So everything's made from scratch every day, and there's a lot of love. I can feel that when interacting with the owner herself, and they're always happy to feed. And she hopes that everybody can come by and experience what they have crafted out with their own hands and passion.
Okay.
Right. So what they are having is a 15% discount off a minimum spend of $20.
Okay.
So you just need to code CYT15 to get that promo when you're in store.
Sounds amazing.
Yes.
Yeah. Everyone make sure you go visit them and enjoy the homemade bakes.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
So that brings us to the end of our ad read.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for when we go to a new and exciting location.
Yes.
So bye everybody.
Yes, tune in. Bye-bye.
Now back to the rest of the episode.
Yeah, so this is a very exciting season for us as well, with so many different AI tools that we can utilize. And I think the next 10 years is going to be very exciting also for the property space in Singapore.
Does it ever feel like AI is a bit daunting?
I worry that it will be daunting in the eyes of my team, because I realized that when I try to introduce this at the start of the year, in fact, we've been talking about like everybody should have this mantra. Number one, if you need to do a certain task, you need to ask yourself, can this task be done by AI, right? But I realized the adoption was slow. And we had a very deep conversation with the entire team through our town hall. I shared that if you're afraid of this replacing your job, this shouldn't be the main mindset that we should have. It should be like, how can we use AI as our assistant, right? So, because this is for the benefit of our consumers. So I think after that town hall, everybody is more or less aligned. We started this pilot project about 6 months ago as well, is to form an AI team. And this team of 5 people, constantly there's like different boxes that people can drop in ideas in the company that, okay, I have an idea to implement a new project using AI. I submit this to the AI team. The AI team will have a project manager to work with me to implement this. And once it's implemented after 3 to 6 months, there's an incentive, right? So there's a cash incentive that they can claim.
Yeah.
And this is just to allow the entire company to be on the same page that we need to constantly innovate this idea for the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Yeah. So
Man, he's really selling his company. I'm like, I wouldn't mind working there. Are you looking to hire from overseas? You guys sound like obviously when the whole Google offices and Google way of working
we just
came
want
about,
it to be fun as well.
it feels like you've become the Singapore version of that.
No, we're not that big. We just want a constantly...
I don't think it's about being big though.
Yeah.
It's about the approach that you have now taken, the lessons that you have learned and the growth that you've experienced and had, not just selling a lifestyle to your employees, but really implementing. And I can see how you're taking the different industries that you're involved in and kind of integrating them into one and helping your employees to find, and you're not just working for me and doing a job for an end game.
Yeah.
You're getting them to figure out what you figured out in that 4 years, which was going from the immediate gratification to looking at the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Where can we go from here?
Yeah.
I'm learning so much. Well, you know what? Thank you so much for coming on today. I have really, really enjoyed this chat.
Me
and
too.
I hope you have as
Likewise.
well.
Definitely.
Yes.
Thanks for sharing your stories. It's amazing.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
You heard it first. Blaze your own trail. Start your inner work today. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Clean Your Toilet podcast.